One of my absolute favorite things to do is get lost in a good thriller. I'm talking about those edge of your seat, stay up way too late, page turning kind of stories. There's something about the suspense and not knowing what's coming next that completely pulls me in. For me, reading isn't just entertaining, it's grounding. It challenges your thinking, expands your perspective, and sometimes getting wrapped up in the literary world simply gives you the perfect escape from the noise of everyday life. It's the love of stories that draws me to one of my most treasured places. This is a bookstore and book bug. Located in Kalamazoo, this place is pure magic. It's warm, welcoming, and filled with a real sense of community. I've spent hours there discovering books I didn't even know I needed. It's the kind of place where you might bump into a friend, get an amazing recommendation from someone on staff, and somehow walk out with a stack of books you didn't plan to buy with many reasons to come back soon. Shopping there is nothing like buying from a big online retailer. When you support This is a Bookstore and Book Bug, you're investing in something real, local, and personal. You're part of keeping independent bookstores alive, and that matters. The best part, you don't have to live in Kalamazoo to experience it. You can order online at bookbugkalamazoo.com or call them at 269 385 2847. If you're ordering for a school, they're fantastic at tracking down hard to find titles and can help build a classroom library tailored to your students or subject. And if you're placing a large order, whether it's one title or multiple, ask for Book Bug Bulk to receive a discount. I guarantee you'll enjoy your visit to This is a Bookstore and Book Bug. And when you do, be sure to tell them who sent you. Now, on with the show.
With the baseball season starting for big leaguers, high schoolers, and even for the kids, I can't help but remember my years playing baseball when I was younger. But honestly, I never stopped. You can still catch me hanging out at the softball diamonds in my hometown a few times a week, even today. I'm taking everyone out to the ballpark this week. This is Lessons We Forgot, and this episode is called Striking Out. My favorite sport growing up was baseball. This would make complete sense to anyone who knew how I was raised. Some of my most cherished memories from my childhood include sitting in the living room with my family watching Tigers baseball while eating my dad's homemade popcorn. Summer evenings were spent on the softball diamonds watching my parents play and hanging out with the other kids until it was our turn to run the bases when the game was over. So, of course, my sister and I played Little League baseball and softball when we were old enough, my dad coaching the team while my mom kept the book. And even though I did play multiple sports in high school, my focus was always first and foremost on baseball. Like the vast majority of young men with big dreams about sports, my actual experience as a baseball player was pretty unremarkable. I played on some pretty good teams that won a few minor tournaments, and I was also on some pretty mediocre teams that did not. I'd like to think I had some special abilities or talent, but I'm pretty sure in the grand scheme of things, I was probably nowhere good as I thought I was on my best day, and nowhere near as bad as I thought I was on my worst. As a relatively undersized player who also happened to be pretty quick out of the box, I often played the role of leadoff hitter. For those of you not familiar with baseball, that is the first batter in the lineup, and that job requires only one thing: get on base any way you can. So I got pretty good at taking walks, bunting, and even getting hit by pitches if I had to. Of course, I needed to actually get on base by hitting the ball too, but that was just one of my many options. Fast forward to my senior year in high school. We're pretty deep in the playoffs, going up against some team we've never seen before. And in situations like this, my role as leadoff hitter adds one more dimension. I need to force the pitcher to throw enough pitches to me that my team can get an idea of what we're up against. I don't remember how many pitches I took that first at bat, but it wasn't many, and I ended up striking out. Not the end of the world, but also not ideal. In my next at bat, I didn't fare much better. Another strikeout. Third one too. Now at this point, we're losing what might become my last game ever. My job is to get on base by any means necessary, and I've struck out 3 times already. My fourth at bat is late in the game, and we're losing, and I need to do something to not only save the game, but to also extend my chance of playing baseball ever again. But I don't. It's my 4th strikeout. On the way back to the dugout, my world is starting to crash in all around me. I've not only failed at my job, I've let down my teammates, and my baseball career looks like it might be over. And just when I think I can't feel any worse, one of my coaches yells my name. It's not one of those get your head in the game or you're out of position or stop fooling around type yells. This is "I'm really disappointed in you" type of yell. You know the one. It's part anger, part frustration, part sadness. You might have even done it yourself a time or two. And it makes sense. I let everyone down. I only had one job and I'd failed 4 times. I've been practicing this one thing for most of my life, and when it mattered most, I wasn't able to come through for my team. But that's not what my coach says next. "Keep your head up," is what he says. No, what he demands I do. This is not some advice for hitting. He's telling me that even on this, my worst day, and after I failed in front of everyone, even though I might not ever get a chance at this again, I should still have pride in what I set out to do. He's telling me that he cares more about me as a person than whatever I did on the field. I have been doing this job for almost 20 years. That would make complete sense to anyone who knew how I was raised. My family is filled with teachers, administrators, and many others who have worked in schools. When my wife and I tied the knot, I married into a family that was filled to the brim with educators as well. Hearing about their experiences at school was common conversation around the dinner table at family functions. So if you were putting money on it, my wife and I becoming teachers was a pretty safe bet. Having said that, I don't think I entered this profession with any particular talents. Like most young teachers, when I got started, I gained an unwarranted amount of confidence on days when things worked out well for me, and I maybe catastrophized a little bit when they didn't. Finding my role in our school took a little longer than on the baseball diamond, though, but eventually I found it. Even now, when I think I know exactly what I'm supposed to do, when my role in the team is clearly defined, and when I've been practicing this one thing for most of my life, I'm not always able to come through for my team. I still strike out all the time. My lesson plans don't work. I'm not able to make a connection with a student, or I can't make a parent see things from my perspective. I let down my teammates. I fail at my job, and I forget to do the one thing I was supposed to do that day. And on my worst days, sometimes it still feels like I struck out 4 times in front of everyone. I'm so lucky to have people around me, just like I did back when I played high school baseball, who are there to pick me up when it seems like things are at their worst. No matter how bad I think I might have performed, they remind me that just because I can't always control the outcome, I still need to have pride in what I set out to do. When I'm the one telling myself that I let everyone down, that I failed, or that I blew my one shot, they are the ones telling me, no, demanding that I keep my head up. We will all strike out from time to time. Sometimes we're going to have a 4-strikeout game. When that happens and your chin drops when you're walking back to the dugout, I hope you have someone who reminds you of what you set out to do here, even if they have to get a little emotional doing it. We have to be willing to do that for one another, even if we are the ones who got disappointed, or who got let down, or who lost the game. One bad day is not going to end anyone's career. For many of you, you've only just begun, and we've all got plenty of opportunities left to swing the bat. It doesn't matter if your last time at the plate ended in a home run or with a strikeout. You need to know that we care more about you as a person than about whatever happened in your classroom today. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Lessons We Forgot. I'm the host, Chris Winkle. You can contact me at lessonsweforgot@gmail.com, and you can follow the show or message Lessons We Forgot on Facebook. Either way, I'd love to hear from you and welcome you to our community. If you really enjoyed this episode, please consider sharing it with a friend. That is the best way to help grow the podcast. If you want to hear more Lessons We Forgot, I post new episodes on Sunday nights. Make sure you subscribe to follow the show on whatever podcast platform you use. And when you rate the show, like an episode, or leave a comment, we can reach even more listeners. If you hate ads just like me, I do have a Patreon site, patreon.com/lessonsweforgot, and for only $1 a month, you can get the show without ads. You can try that out right now for free to see if it's something you'd be interested in. Thanks again for your support.